This amendment addresses how we evaluate a program's success before recommitting many millions of taxpayer dollars to it. Over the past 2 years, this legislature has appropriated hundreds of millions of dollars for RxKids. With that level of public investment, policymakers should have access to independent evidence to decide whether or not the program is delivering the outcomes we are paying for. Because this program is administered by a nonprofit organization rather than a public government agency, policymakers do not have the same required transparency and public records access that exist for government-run programs using taxpayer dollars. That makes independent access to data and evaluation even more essential. As the program currently operates, RxKids tightly controls who has access to this data and the conditions under which that data may be studied. At the same time, much of the published research evaluating the program has been produced by individuals closely tied to the program itself. They are designing the program, determining which metrics to measure, collecting the data themselves, and reporting success, often without disclosing their connections. In fact, a review of the published literature shows that RxKids leadership is listed as authors on the majority of the studies assessing the program. Under widely accepted academic research standards, that matters. When leadership authors most of the studies and the program controls the data, independent evaluation is structurally absent, regardless of how many additional authors are listed. That does not mean research lacks value, but it does mean is affiliated research, not independent, and it should not be the sole basis for decisions involving hundreds of millions in public funds. My amendment aligns our law with the standards used every day in serious academic and policy research. Those standards are straightforward. Program operators do not serve as gatekeepers to evaluative data. Qualified, unaffiliated researchers must be able to independently analyze outcomes. Internal research is permitted, but clearly identified as internal, not independent. That is what this amendment does. It places authority over data access with the department, not the program operator. It ensures qualified, unaffiliated researchers can evaluate anonymized data and preserves internal research while being honest about what it is and what it is not. Colleagues, with hundreds of millions of public dollars at stake, self-evaluation is not enough. Policymakers need independent evidence to make responsible decisions on behalf of taxpayers and families. No program, no matter how innovative or well-intentioned, should control access to the data used to judge its own success. That is what accountability looks like. Sunlight is not an attack. It's the minimum standard for public trust. I urge a yes vote.